Let's stay with issues to do with crime. This time take you to the Eastern Cape, bring in the police commissioner there. That's Major General Nomthetheleli Mene, who joins us now via our video link. And Commissioner, thank you for your time and your patience. I know you've had to hold on the line for quite a while. We really do appreciate it as we continued listening in to your colleague in Gauteng. We're speaking to you in the wake of yet another mass shooting in the Eastern Cape. Between Lusikisiki, Biki and New Brighton, communities there are now living in fear because of the number of people who've been shot dead literally just weeks apart. Let me just begin by getting your assessment of what's taking place in your province. Are you dealing with this as an emergency?
Thank you. First and foremost, and thank you for having me this morning. I just want to put people at ease in saying that there is no need to live in fear in Lusikisiki. Reason being, we have investigated the murder case in Lusikisiki, and the facts that were found are indicating that this is a type of a murder that was premeditated, and who planned it. We know how it was planned. So it's not a matter of it is becoming dangerous for other people, because we've also added more boots on the ground in terms of policing in that area. But for this specific case of Lusikisiki, it is not like it affects the whole society or the whole community.
All right, that's quite a tall ask in a context where the family that was attacked, Commissioner, came under attack around the same time last year.
That one too is an isolated incident. It just connects now, but the suspects are not the same. The ones of this year with the mass killing are different suspects. And I don't want to say much because we still are investigating the case, and it is appearing in court, and we are still to make more arrests. So I don't want to divulge much, but the community of Lusikisiki, I want to assure them, they should not live in fear.
All right, I suppose as the saying goes, Commissioner, the proof of the pudding will be in the tasting. I mean, 18 people are gunned down in one area and you're calling for people to be calm. Nonetheless, I know you're pressed for time. Let's speak about the other shootings that have taken place weeks after that. The latest one, as I mentioned, in New Brighton. We got word yesterday that the lone suspect in that particular case has been shot and killed after getting into an exchange with police. Can you give us a bit more details around what happened?
Thank you, but before we go to the New Brighton one, maybe I should mention that with the Lusikisiki case, we have arrested the suspects and we have arrested the correct suspects. But let's move to the New Brighton incident. In New Brighton, we woke up to a situation yesterday morning where 5 people were gunned down in a house or a shack in New Brighton. Police followed up the information, and the information led them to a specific house where the suspect ran to. And as they were approaching the house, the suspect allegedly started shooting at the police, and the police responded. Unfortunately, the suspect was fatally wounded and he died on the scene.
Where does that leave that particular investigation? Because I imagine ideally what justice requires actually is for people to go through a trial so that officers or investigators can get information around who they were working with potentially, where they got their guns and what the motive was.
Well, for now, we have a witness statement that suggests that this was a single suspect. There's no other suspect that we are looking for in this particular incident. We have forensic evidence that he didn't take with, so we do have the forensic evidence. We can be able to link and check and make some investigation on the firearm that was used. That can tell us in terms of the ballistics test whether that same firearm was used in any other offense or crime. But let me mention this. The intention of the police when they approach a suspect is to apprehend the suspect and take the suspect to court. That's number one. The intention is then being changed by the suspect when he starts shooting at the police. Then the police have to respond. So the intention of the approach of the police was to arrest the suspect, but unfortunately, he started shooting at the police, and the police had to respond. Unfortunately, he was fatally wounded then. So, Tina, we are working in arresting the suspects. The intention is then changed by the suspects upon attacking the police.
Sure. I understand that weapon that was used by the suspect has now been recovered, and I suppose that gives us an opportunity to speak generally about the weapons that might be used in these mass shootings. If history is anything to go by, Commissioner, we know typically these guns are illegal, and it shines a spotlight on the proliferation of these illegal guns in any society, not just in the Eastern Cape. How big a problem, though, do you reckon this is in your province?
I must admit that the firearms in circulation are a problem countrywide, not only in the province of the Eastern Cape. So we are prioritizing them as we continue with our weekly Chanela operations in the province of the Eastern Cape. The priority is getting the illegal firearms off the wrong hands. So we are addressing the firearms. We are also addressing the drugs as the contributors towards the crime in the province. So when you talk firearms, you're not talking only Eastern Cape province, but I must say that we are prioritizing in terms of recovering firearms. I need to also mention that in the incident of Lusikisiki, we have recovered the firearms that were used. Yes, they were illegal firearms, but we have recovered them. We have recovered the one that was used in Gqeberha as well. So we really are responsive towards the situation in the province.
Yeah, I know you have to go, Commissioner, so forgive me for squeezing this last question in. What's your ultimate message to communities around your province who are incredibly worried when they hear week in and week out us reporting about mass shootings in the province? I mean, there's at least at the level of perception concerns that police aren't really in control.
Well, I wouldn't say police aren't really in control. Yes, the incidents are happening, and it is good. It is understandable that people should be worried. People should be concerned, and that we understand. But people should also give credit to the response of the police towards these incidents. I need to admit to you that they must be worried, but in the areas where there's problems in terms of the province, you will notice that our Tambo is our priority. And also Nelson Mandela Bay is our priority. We have added more forces. We have added more combat teams in those areas. Hence, the response towards this incident of New Brighton. So we have taken note of the situation in the province that the two areas, the two districts are contributing towards our crime, and we are responding well towards the situation in those two areas. So the people should just understand that we are dealing with the situation. And I need to say this morning that we are dealing with the criminals. We are dealing with the criminals. If they think that they're taking over, they won't, because the police are still in control in terms of the situation when it comes to crime in the province.
All right, Eastern Cape Police Commissioner, Major General Nomthetheleli Mene, thanks very much indeed for speaking to us. Really do appreciate your time and your patience. I was told you need to go at 22, so there we are on the dot. Thank you very much once again for speaking to us. Very important issues, of course, being outlined there by both commissioners, the one in Gauteng and the one in the Eastern Cape, given just how widespread, deeply entrenched crime is in both those provinces. Not, of course, restricted to those regions, but certainly those two provinces typically make the news more often than not. And we'll certainly keep watching both of those developments as they continue to unfold. In the Eastern Cape, by the way, the suspects who've been involved in the Biki mass shooting are expected in court today. So as soon as those proceedings begin, we'll certainly take you there live.